and welcome to this week's LeviTV, Parshas Lech Lecha. In this week's Parsha, after Hashem commands Avram to leave the land of Haran, his birthplace, his father's home, etc., he goes and he travels first to Egypt and then he goes up to the land of Israel. Yes, modern day Israel, what we call Eretz Yisrael in the Bible, or Torah, Old Testament, whatever you want to call it. But we do call it Eretz Yisrael. And while he is there, a massive war breaks out between the 4 kings and the 5 kings. So how do you know that you've made it famous? Obviously, you get your own photo shoot. During the war, Lot, Avram's cousin, is taken captive. And Avram goes and, siding with the 5 kings, frees all the prisoners, defeats the 4 kings, and brings Lot out of captivity. After Avram's amazing victory over the 4 kings, the king of Sodom comes to Avram and tells him, take whatever you want. Take from all the booty, all the spoils, etc. Just leave me the people so I'll have a people to go back to. Avram answers him in return and says as follows. Vayemer Avram el Melech Sodom, Harimaisi Yadi el Hashem el Elyon Kornei Shamayim V'Aretz. Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have raised my hand to God, the Most High, maker of heaven and earth. He says, I'm swearing that I will not take anything from you. The next verse goes on and Abraham starts to give rationale behind why he's making this oath. He says, I will not take a shoelace from you. I will not have it known that you, king of Sodom, have made me, Avraham, rich. Now, here's the question. Why, after swearing, does Avraham go through all the rationale? Shouldn't he go through all the rationale first and then swear? The answer is, sometimes we have instincts. We know instinctively that something is right or wrong. However, afterwards, if we think about it, we may rationalize it out of our consciousness. We might say, oh, technically it's not so wrong. This isn't the worst thing I could do. It's okay. And there it goes. Even though instinctively you knew it was the wrong thing to do, you've now rationalized it out of your system that now you can go and do it. Or the other way around. You know it's a good thing and you rationalize why you shouldn't do that good thing. This is what Avraham is saying. He says, let me give myself an extra power. I know instinctively it's going to be wrong to take the money from the king of Sodom. I know instinctively it's not going to be a good thing. As we all know, the city of Sodom was pretty wacky. Avraham knows instinctively this is not a good thing for him to do. But in order to bolster his instinct, in order to prevent himself from rationalizing it out of his system, what does he do? He says, I will raise my hand to God. I'm going to take an oath so that way, even once I begin to rationalize it, I have something to bolster my instincts. And this is a very powerful lesson. There are times we know something's right or wrong. There are times we know that we really should step it up a notch. But if we're just going to be going according to our own rationale, then we're going to lose it. However, if we make a oath, if we swear, if we promise ourselves, if we dedicate ourselves truly to that, even when it comes to a bit of rationality, I can rationalize this out, we will keep to it. Guys, have a great Shabbat. I hope to see you next week. Stay tuned to LeviTV.